Alright, hello. Hey guys! Here I am, finally watching the Job Actions trailer. I was debating for a while, I was gonna record it anyway, but I was debating for a while, on whether I wanted to just show the full reaction or just basically Monk, because, I guess just for reference, I've only played one class at max level currently, and that's Monk, because Monk is my main. So because of that, I only really feel like I can talk a lot about Monk and the Monk changes, which honestly has not changed a lot. Um, and so that's just unfortunate in that regard. I used to raid, so because of that, like, I can talk a little bit about, like, what was current as of Heavensward raiding, which I know has definitely changed. I can definitely talk a lot about, like, certain things that I miss from the 3.0 sets and things that, like, I wish were still around in 4.x stuff. So this is gonna be more of me kind of watching job actions and being like, ooh, pretty lights! I only know what half of this stuff is. And so I apologize in advance. But I'm still really interested, because I'm gonna take a look at it, after, that's my dog, after this, I will probably just talk about Monk stuff, and I also have up a bunch of the live letter stuff and what they talked about with regard to several of the new job actions and whatnot. So I'm just excited to kind of take a look and see how they show all of this stuff. Yeah, so I guess with that, let's get started. And I actually did a test this time, and my volume settings should be okay, so I will not have the sound issues that I had yesterday. Alright, let's do this thing. And play, and we are in an HD, so it should be good to go. Alright, let's do that. Do this. Square Enix. Oh god, that's still loud. Alright. Alright, this should be some bullshit. Okay. Job actions! Let's do this. Alright, there's our Grunbreaker, who Thancred is. Like how he's got an Astrologian over there. Alright, so those actions. Alright, so you can buff other people. Or heal them? You're buffing your healer. Okay, AoE stuff. Apparently everyone just gets a new AoE attack? I don't know. Remember, alright. Hard. I don't know if they have a gap closer. Could be interesting. Bard. I don't play Bard for some reason. You would think, because I play the harp, so. Mage Ballad. Oh yeah, they adjusted those, so there's. So I don't know how it works. Okay, I don't know how it works exactly anymore. So they're switching between songs, and does it just last for a certain amount of time, or I guess it just lasts for a certain amount of time now, because they apparently really reworking Bard, so Dragoon. Okay, this I can talk a little bit more about, because I actually have a level something. I had to level Dragoon at some point. Alright. Alright. So your Blood of the Dragon, it seems to be doing more? Alright. And I know jumps are gonna be faster, which is nice, so you don't get locked in the animation. Alright, and they took away heavy thrust! I know, this weirds me out a little bit, but that's okay. Nice animations there. I mean, I'm just like, Impulse Drive! Impulse Drive! Alright, there's... So I guess that's also cooldown for... That's very Nidhogg looking. I'm just commenting that's very Nidhogg looking. Okay, Black Mage. Alright, so it looks like we're in ice. And then we get our... Alright. And then we switch to fire. Alright. And... in your rotation set... I think from what I heard, this doesn't actually change a whole lot. Okay, we've switched back to ice. I'm also weirded out by the whole loss of losing TP thing. Again, Monk, so TP management is something to worry about. I mean, I guess I'm makes sense. Sorry. I'll pay attention to Black Mage. Yeah. You can tell I don't really play Black Mage a lot. That looks new. Other than knowing I know you have to switch between ice and fire. Okay, Astrologian. So clearly other people around. Alright. Spear. I mean, as far as I remembered, you pull certain cards, you buff other people. I know they are. What are the crowns? What are the crowns? Is that new? That looks new. That looks new. Okay. I know that they were revamping all the healers to make the healers more like healing based and not like DPS who can also heal. One, I like the new animations. Two, definitely looking a lot more sort of like, here's all the planets and stuff. Sorry, I can't say the plot. I love these, ooh. Sorry. I really love the, transitions. Alright, I also don't know a whole lot about Samurai, because this is what happens when you only really play Monk. Heard that animation a lot. Again, I don't really know a lot about Samurai, so unfortunately I can't say a whole lot about it. Other than like the little bit that we got to play with as, what's his name? Hian. Which was not a whole lot. Alright. So... yeah, I'm sorry, I can't say a whole lot because I really just don't know a lot about Samurai. Yeah. Alright. Okay, Warrior! Okay, this I did play for a while. This I'm interested in. Ooh, alright, so... Alright, so apparently they're... Are they still doing Defiance? Because apparently they're doing something with the tank stances, and so they're... Okay. Alright, you can buff your allies now. That's nice. That looks new, I guess. Alright. Okay, Fell Cleave. Second Fell Cleave. Third Fell Cleave. I know you can already do that. Okay, this is new. Fourth Fell Cleave. I'm interested in that. More Fell Cleave. Always more Fell Cleave. Alright, Red Mage. Also, I don't know a whole lot about this. I've only managed to get 2 Fell Cleaves off. I know you can do 3. At least you could do 3 in Heaven's Word. I assume in Stormblood you could get further, but... Alright. Alright, unfortunately I also don't know a whole lot about Red Mage, because I haven't played it a whole lot, other than you have to kind of balance the 2 bars a little bit. And gap closer, and then you kind of go... Or you're supposed to, at least. Alright. Zoro! Yep, and then you go right back. Alright, that looks new. But, again, ooh. Music? Monk! Alright, this is my thing. This is my thing. Alright, so we got meditation, gap closer. Alright. I guess Armor the Destroyer is coming back? Alright. Okay, tornado kick. Alright, I'm seeing... Okay, we just switched to wind. Grease Lightning 4! Grease Lightning 4! I am so torn about this. I heard about this and I was like, what? Grease Lightning 4? Okay. Okay, and then I'll be... Okay. Alright, back over to Paladin. I will talk about this Grease Lightning 4 thing. I'm really kind of like, what? Oh. Sorry. Alright. Again, I don't know a lot about Paladin because I haven't even hit Paladin. I'm still like a gladiator. It's pretty bad. Ooh. I like the music by like that. Looks interesting. Alright. I feel like Paladin is getting a lot... Ooh, ninja. And the palette pattern's gonna get a lot more in terms of... I don't know, never mind. There's Ninja. All of our mudras. It's looking... Okay, so you have... I don't know if the gauge is new. Again, I'm not super familiar with this because I already have a melee class. But we already had that. Those look familiar. That does not look familiar. Ooh. Alright, Ninja's getting something interesting. Ninja's getting something interesting. That should be cool. Alright, White Mage, which I unfortunately never played past Heavensward, so... Alright, so it'll be interesting to see what we have here. Alright, obviously you can still heal people. It sounded like the arrow. I wish I could say more about this. Alright. Healing. Ooh! That is new. That looks new. Oh, the wings. Alright. I guess it's gonna be... the more water aspected is my assumption? I don't know. Alright, now we got Scholar. Which... apparently Scholar has a new fairy. Ooh! Alright, that should be interesting. Yeah, Scholar looks... yeah. A Scholar looks like it has changed a fair amount. I will just say that right now. I know that all of the healers are supposed to be changing up again to make them more... I wonder... the Pixies. New fairy. I did hear about that. Yeah, that's definitely a very different fairy from the one that we've had previously, so we have a new fairy. My assumption is that it has something, because you're leveling as part of, because the Pixies are also one of the Beast Tribe classes, that you're going to be running around with them, and maybe that'll do something about it, I assume. Summoner! Alright, I've heard many things about Summoner, because this is what happens when, someone you love very much used to play a lot of Summoner. Alright, so we've got our Bahamut. And apparently new Phoenix now, is from what I heard too. I love this music, by the way, which I heard in the benchmark. Alright, so I'm sorry, Akmorn, just being like, ah, Akmorn. I'm sorry, okay. And I know that they changed up, I know they changed up all of the... Phoenix! Phoenix! Oh, that's so cool. Sorry, I had fun in T12, okay? So I'm like, Phoenix! Although, I don't know if it's actually the Louis... Sorry, spoilers for anyone who hasn't done that. I don't know if it's actually the Louis Suave sort of, like, thing, or do you somehow get the Spirit of Phoenix elsewhere? I don't know. Alright, that's a very large... This is reminding me of Edward from FF6. Just a wee bit. And I know apparently you get, like... That looks cool. You get, like, a little... You get a robot, apparently. A lot of the stuff that's being added to this, like, robot! There's your robot! Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome! That is really cool! That is super... Oh, gosh. Alright, I like the robot. The robot's pretty sweet. I don't know, we're just looking at this meme like, robot! And there it goes. That is sweet. Alright, Dancer, okay. Which I did see, I did thankfully get to see some of this, because obviously you're also buffing other people as you're dancing. Again, it still kind of reminds me a little bit of the mood. I talked about this at one point, I think. Dancing, it kind of reminds me of sort of a longer dance-ish version of the ninja mudras, to a certain degree. So different steps you do will give different buffs. And then obviously she's got the chakram things. Funny, I watched a documentary recently and they were talking about specific chakram weapons that look like that, and no, you actually stick them over people's like limbs and then like rip them off. I'm like, very different from this usage. Obviously we see, I like all the peacock-esque imagery there. Ooh. That's really cool. I do want to try it out. Alright, there's our Dark Knight. Said very closely loved one actually mains Dark Knight, so he's been talking about this a lot and how they just straight up removed Dark Arts. He was like... Okay, we've already had that for a while. So I do get to see this a lot because, you know, I party up with him. But... This is, of course, is our Shadowbringers class. Ooh. Whoa! Frey? 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 Is that Frey? That is super cool. Okay. That's basically Frey. Or... Yeah. Ah! Oh, that's really cool. Okay. Nice! Frey! Sweet. Okay. Okay. I'm glad I watched the entire thing. No, I'm really glad I watched the entire thing. Alright, so... I'm going to have it not on this thingy. I'll just keep it on here, because why not? Okay. You could tell that I was looking at some of the scripts and things. I never really got into scripts, which is pretty bad. Alright, so I'm just gonna comment on, obviously, as I said before, I feel like I can only really comment on Monk, because that's the only one I've played at max level. Warrior I was like partially through Heavensward. It's really out of date now. I actually did play White Mage at endgame in A Realm Reborn, but obviously haven't played a whole lot since then. I actually don't like healing a whole lot. I find it too stressful. I'm like, I'm just gonna punch things instead, and the whole time whenever I'm healing, I'm just like, just let me do damage. Which is funny, because that became the meta eventually. And it weirds me out when I have to switch between them, but anyway. So... Of the many things that I have heard have been changing, so obviously they get rid of TP. So I'm gonna say this from a Monk perspective, so I'm just gonna talk about Monk for a little bit. So Monk, obviously TP management is really huge because, like, whatever it's called, it's key-minded 7 on my thing. It's your AoE, and, like, you know, you use up so much TP, and one of the aspects of Monk is that, you know, if you're using up your TP a whole lot, like, there was this really weird thing where you have to really be really careful about, like, managing skill speed versus crit, and there was this big debate about it at one point among the monks that I played with. So skill speed, the problem is that you would run out of TP more often, and then around like 8 minutes in your fight, you'd be like, I'm out of TP, ninja, help me. Or Bard TP song, please. So, because I remember that back in the day, and obviously you would use Invigorate, because that's, like, the only thing you had back then. It was kind of nice when they made roll actions a thing, because then you're like, okay, cool, I can get the ninja stuff on myself now, yay! And then you had form change and all that, not that. I like never use it. The thingy that, if you have 3 stacks of Grease Lightning, you can regain your, like, 200 TP or something like that. So because they're getting rid of TP, I feel like for Monk at least, they're either gonna make that specific for MP now, which I still feel is a little bit weird. Oh yeah, off topic, they get rid of Protect. They got rid of Protect. I'm like, what? Protect where? Anyway, so there's that too. I'm weirded out by all of this somehow. I mean, okay, I was weirded out when they did all, like, the role changes, not role changes, when they basically were like, here's all these abilities that are now, like, not really part of your class. They are considered role abilities, and so everyone who, like, plays this particular role class sort of stuff gets access to them. So I was like, yay, I get access to ninja stuff, and I lose all of the warrior stuff, or technically, marauder stuff, which made me sad because I actually used Fracture, a fair amount. Fracture was sort of my, do I have extra space in my rotation to just pop another dot on? Sure, why not? Punk. That was kind of what I did for a while. And then when they got rid of it, let's just say that it's really weird going back and trying to play A Realm Reborn stuff at high levels, just because, like, I feel like I'm missing half of my set, because you don't have Blood for Blood anymore either. I was really weirded out by losing Blood for Blood but getting whatever the fire thingy is. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the names of these things anymore. But whatever, which was basically, it's like prayer of fire or something. And it was again that weird trade-off of saying, so you want the thing that gives you 20% DPS boost, but slows you down, so slows you down back to what you are before your Grease Lightning decrease in GCD, or do you still want your thing? I mean, I think in the long run, the 20% DPS boost, but just minus the speed boost that you get from the GCD boost that you get, ended up winning out, and also you don't have like the extra, what is it? You take 20% more damage or something like that. It's been a while. And obviously we don't have it anymore. So that weirded me out initially. I mean, it ended up not really changing a whole lot. I know that for Monk they also tried doing a thing where they were like, yeah, change between your different Fists of things, and so Fists of Wind, hey, you get a shoulder tackle that does new stuff, and I was kind of like, cool. I like how they're trying to switch it up and trying to make monks basically, switch between the different forms a little bit better. No, not forms, I shouldn't be saying forms. Fist stances. Punchy fist stances. Because right now, we kind of just sit around in Fists of Fire all the time. I'll occasionally pop on Fist of Earth if, like, there's an unavoidable AoE about to come in. And I'm like, I might as well try to mitigate some of this damage, or if for some reason I start tanking as a monk, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just kind of sit here and go just auto-attack and press the thingy that pushes down my, whatever it's called. I'm sorry. I need more coffee. Anyway, so, yeah. Where was I going with this? Alright, I really like how they're essentially going to try to have us switch between forms more. I think my reaction when I was told that monks were gonna get Grease Lightning 4, I was like, what? What? That was literally my reaction. And so I think because we got that, or what was it? It was like either Grease Lightning 4 or Grease Lightning, like, it was like Grease Lightning 10 or something ridiculous like that in like the final level 70 monk trial, I believe. And I think it was apparently because of that the developers were like, let's give them Grease Lightning 4, but you have to be in Fist of Wind to use it. So it's like, do you want a 5% DPS boost in just like, you know, just general strength and whatnot, or do you want Grease Lightning 4? And I think that's gonna be something that is, that's gonna have to be weighed out by like, how much of a boost does Grease Lightning 4 give you? Because if you have Grease Lightning 3, you pop into Fist of Wind, and then you can get Grease Lightning 4. If Grease Lightning 4 gives you sort of like the same stacking amount of boosts that the Grease Lightning generally gives you, it might actually be more worth it. Cool. What else is there? They didn't show anything about Brotherhood, which is useful if you have melee in your group, but that's about it. What else? I'm trying to think about what else would be really helpful. Oh yeah, not helpful. Again, me talking as a monk. What is it called again? I'm sorry. Perfect Balance. When Perfect Balance, because forever the cooldown on that was 3 minutes, right? And then they dropped it to 1, and I was like, also again, the person that I very much love a whole lot. We actually, when I first met him, we were both playing Monk. So, like, both of us were like, oh, a lot. Because we were like, what? And obviously that changed a whole lot. I don't think they're gonna change that for Shadowbringers. At least, I hope they don't. I feel, I already felt like, you know, making Perfect Balance suddenly like a 1 minute cooldown instead of a 3 minute cooldown was like just basically making the class OP. That's what it felt like to me, at least. Definitely making people use that tornado kick a lot more, because you could use it. I know there was also a debate on like how useful it was to tornado kick all the time versus just keeping up your Grease Lightning stacks all the time, especially once you got the whole Perfect Balance thing coming in. What else was there? I'm basically just ranting about things that have changed. The monk stuff that alright, it's on my other monitor, which I would actually like to take a look at. What other... Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna talk about general stuff that's not necessarily just Monk. Obviously the whole MPTP thing. I guess if it's like MP stuff, and I know that all of the things is that all of the like magic class abilities that were based on MP are percentage based, so that's gonna be a thing, which will be interesting. There are classes that had to deal with MP and TPs, like just kind of balancing. Obviously with the Dark Knight, because they're straight up taking away Dark Arts, that's gonna be... I don't think Dark Arts has anything to do with MP management, sorry. Stuff's changing, let's just put it that way. Okay. It says that affected actions will be revised so they can be used more freely. Main attributes in materia, they're getting rid of main attribute things. I like that they have 2 materia slots, that's good. Main attribute increasing material bleed no longer available. I find that interesting and kind of weird because I like slotting strength into things because, you know, when you're a DPS you slot strength into things. But yeah, okay, pets. Yeah, the pet actions being recategorized as player actions. It weirds me out a little bit only because of like, hey, let's go like solo this thing. We're gonna use Titan Eggy. But we can't do that anymore. Or I don't know if we'll be able to. Yeah, it looks like or well, let's see. Existing pet actions. Shared actions designed for use of pets. Yeah, so I don't know how the summoner community is gonna think about that. I should probably look into that because I know the people, like especially like Larizar, who, you know, I believe he's still a summoner main. So yeah, be interesting there. I think it's, I mean, my guess is that they're trying to put a little bit more emphasis on, like, here's your, like, build up your things so you get your Bahamut. Build up your things so you get your Phoenix. I wonder what's next. Get, I don't know. Whatever the boss of, Omega 11 was. Alright. So, yeah, alright. Will be revised. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, too. Alright, overall usability, chain damage, obviously they are having to deal with the fact that numbers are getting increasingly large, so they'll be doing a crunch probably around 6.0. HP of barrier shielding a party, limit gauge. Let's see. Balancing player roles, yeah. I like how apparently they were talking about effectiveness of some synergies. They're getting rid of slashing, blunt, and piercing. So that was a huge deal for a while, which is the reason why, again, I'm a monk, so I can like talk about this thing. So that's the reason why monks weren't brought along for a while, because monks only really do blunt damage, and where do you get your blunt damage boost? Not a whole lot else. Where, like, your blunt thing, I mean, you got an intelligence debuff, which was nice, but then your Dark Knights could do that too, and so people would just start bringing Dark Knights instead and being like, oh, let's bring our ninja and our samurais along instead, and I'm like, darn it. I still miss, but yeah. I mean, I think it'll be nice in terms of that it kind of just evens the playing field so that you don't necessarily have to bring like your bard and ninja along. But, you know, you do still, things are changing up and whatnot. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little bit torn because I do kind of like the idea that you bring certain jobs to what you need, but again, as someone who pretty much has only played monk at max level, it kind of does open up several things. I actually really do want to open stuff up more and get more to max level. I would like to get warrior up. I still don't really like healing, so I probably won't do healer. I was trying to get a ranged physical up at some point. Didn't really happen because I think that's right around when life started getting really insane for me. So yeah, that's a thing that will probably have to happen still. Anyway, so we're evening the playing field in terms of getting those different types of damage/resistances taken out. Unless, let me just double check, that debuff's reducing... Then it doesn't say that they're getting rid of the types of damages, specifically they're just getting rid of the resistances. The debuffs involved with the resistances, so I guess never mind. I still don't know. I still don't know if anything's been adjusted regarding the whole, like, monks do blunt damage, but everyone else is slashing or piercing. So, yeah, but anyway. Alright, tanks. Okay, so I like how they're trying to make it so everyone's viable as main tank and off tank, because, for example, Paladin's really good as main tank, Warrior's really good as an off tank, and then Dark Knight was kind of like your secondary main tank for a while. I like how they're trying to make them both viable as both main and off tanks. Should be good. Job effectiveness will be very depending on player skill. I like this. I like things where player skill is rewarded. Again, I played monk for a while, and you know, certain aspects of your class are definitely dependent on player skill. Offensive stances will be removed. This is weird. I'm sorry, I find that weird, especially because, oh gosh, what do they call it? It's Defiance and whatever the other one is. Because they're gonna be removing one of them. I guess it won't matter in the long run. It's gonna be a little bit weird for Warrior, I feel like. Again, I don't really have knowledge of the other tanking classes, so I can't say a whole lot about them. Okay, so I just toggle tank stances on, off. It's kind of like Cleric stance, which got removed too. Alright, well, enemy generation will be increased, damage dealt. Okay. Reduce damage received as by tanks. I feel weird about this one too. I don't know. I feel like, so one of the big issues that I have had with the combat, because I understand that, in terms of rebalancing combat and everything, they're trying to make it more accessible to newer players, but at the same time, I feel like they've also sort of made an effort. It kind of feels like they're dumbing down the, sort of the complexity of things, and I mean, I kind of like it when there's some complexity, when you have to do a little bit of research, when you have to, like, work around, and then eventually you build up and become much better as a player with your particular class. I kind of like that. It feels like it's something that they've been kind of getting rid of gradually, which sometimes makes me sad. Tank mastery trait will be added. Oh, okay. So it just kind of feels like they're sort of like, Stormblood especially kind of felt like they're just homogenizing things for a while. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing as much with Shadowbringers, but I guess could be interesting too. Healers, yeah, so they were gonna rebalance everything to make things more of a healer and not like a DPS that happens to heal at the same time. Which, because they already adjusted that a bunch, like, the moment they took away Cleric Stance, was that, so then all of a sudden, like, you don't have to switch between, like, having your intelligence versus your wisdom and everything, or in piety. Sorry. This is what happens when you start playing D&D, you start mixing up stats. What else was there? Offensive actions will be reviewed. Okay. I'm still weirded out by Protect being taken away, but that's okay. Alright, and then, like, I know DPS stuff isn't really changing a whole lot. Machinist is undergoing significant changes. I love the bot, the new bot. I really like it a lot. Okay. I mean, playstyle, I mean, I kind of like it when they add something new to just kind of, like, mix it up a little bit. Apparently there's something in Monk where you just stand still and you keep your Grease Lightning stacks. I mean, a whole big part of, one of the big challenges of playing Monk well was keeping your Grease Lightning stacks, or being able to get them back really quickly during a phase change. That sort of thing. So timing everything so that if you knew your stacks were gonna fall off, then, like, tornado kick, bam, and then you either build it back up or you perfect balance your way back in. But I appreciated a lot of the changes they made for Heavensward. I was kind of meh about most of the changes they made for Stormblood. But we'll see, I suppose. Sorry. Alright. And then obviously I have the left-hand gaming device. Sorry, I was just going over all those. Alright. I guess that's mostly it in terms of all of those and all of my comments and thoughts about things. Yeah. Unfortunately, I am probably not going to be playing on early access launch, at least, because I'm moving. Right during early access, I'm driving across the country with a dog and a harp and all my stuff in my car and a little U-Haul thing, maybe, but we'll see. Anyway, that's mostly it, so I guess I will see you guys around. I still have to play around with benchmarks, that's the thing that I'm gonna do too, but alright, so hope you all have a wonderful rest of everything, and alright. Yay, FF14 and Shadowbringers, which does really look really cool. Apparently all the classes play really well, so that's definitely something to be excited about, so alright. Okay, that's it. Alright, thanks guys!